was offering his insight into blah 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 blah. Oh, I can only imagine the corn speculation that was going on in those speeches. Oh, he can't hear any of this, man. We can't let it make. We have to make sure he actually does hear about this. It will make for good radio in about 30 minutes. All right. 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. Okay, Jim, etiquette question for you. I am, as I've been recovering from the car accident, had to get back to the gym. I'm trying to work certain muscle groups, so I have to use certain machines and stuff like that. What is for you the maximum amount of time someone can be on a machine before you say, "Come on, man, what are you doing?" It's we had a lot of other people waiting to use the machine. What's the max? Yeah, so like there's a chest press and someone's been on it for say 15, 20 minutes. Is that okay? 15, 20 minutes. You're waiting to use it. 15, 20 minutes. There's showing no signs of getting off or anything like that. Is that enough? Or as long as they're still lifting, you know what? Let them have the machine.
Yeah, I would say on something like that, maybe 15, 20 minutes would be your limit. I would kind of think something like that. I don't know because would you have any other places where you could lift or?
Okay, so here's the thing. If you go to the gym, there is one machine that everyone will gravitate towards because it's easy. It's the back one. You know what I'm talking about? You sit down, there's a thing that comes across your back and you just lean back into it. It basically targets a very specific group of muscles. But for me, with the broken back, it's that lower back area. That's what I use it for. And you sit down and you cross your arms and you just lean back, and that's what it is. It is usually one of the more popular pieces of equipment because there's a lot of people that want to go lift, but don't really want to go lift. I mean, it's hard to kind of go in and grab the weights. It is hard. And especially as you get older and in the day. Woman was on it today, 20 minutes. From the time I looked over, okay, so I have a routine I'm running through, right? Got my little list. I'm going through. It's like, okay, it's time for me to do that. Oh, there's someone on it. Okay, I'll go do something else. So I went and did something else. Done with that. Oh, she's still on it. All right, I'll do something else. Oh, okay, she's still on it. Okay, well, it's been about 8, 9 minutes here. All right, I'll do something else. I proceeded to go through the rest of my entire workout. She was still on it. I'd actually kept track of the time. It was 20 minutes. And I said to myself, okay, she's still on it, but what she's got no weight on it. She's got no weight.
Oh.
And she's leaning back like she's rocking in a chair. And this thing. Now, could that be because she's got an injury? She's doing something like that? Of course it could be. And she was still actively using it. She, as a matter of fact, never stopped. I mean, it was like a rocking chair. She had it and she just kind of was going back and forth and back and forth. And so I get out there and I wait. I'm right in front of her. I mean, not right in front of her. It's not like I'm hello there. It's I'm 10 feet away, but I'm staring at her saying, clearly I need to get on this piece.
Yeah, you're trying to make your point. That's what I would think someone would have the awareness to know. Well, someone else is kind of in line.
Not even a blink. Yeah. Not even a blink. So eventually I left. I skipped that one today. I left. But it does bring up the interest. What is the proper timeline on something like that?
I would go with self-awareness kind of being your timer, because you should kind of be aware of your surroundings. If a couple of people are standing around kind of looking like they want to get on the machine, that's kind of your signal that if you've been on for maybe 15 minutes, it's time to let somebody else use it.
Well, I mean,
if you can go on live, no one else is around. I mean, go on longer by all means.
The problem is this is not someone who hey, if that's what you need to do, if your doctor said going on there for 20 minutes, get on it and do a rocking position, great. I can't believe any doctor has said that, but that's the case. I don't want to do it, but I do actually have to say, I don't think that it's anyone else's concern is there. It just seemed like she basically plopped herself down on the machine. And this is something I've noticed with elderly people, that when they go to the gym is that they generally like to relax. And I don't have a problem with that. And as like I said, I have a game plan. Oh, okay, you're on that machine. I'll just go do something else. Oh, you're still on the machine? I'll do another exercise. Oh, now you're off. Okay, great. I'll go do that. So 5-10 minutes, easy. I don't have any problem with that. Ugh. Etiquette, people. Decency. Come on. 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205 is the phone number. Okay. Do you know it's time for Matt Talks to the Kiddos? Brett, do you know? Hey, kiddos, how's it hanging, home slice? Um, do you know? Is On Fleek still good? Can I still? That's actually dated.
Yeah,
Not too.
you're kind
Yeah,
of 8 or 10 years
yeah,
out of date
okay.
there.
Got my Zubas on, man. It's rad. Anyway, do you know what a Borg is?
No.
Okay, do you know what Borg, from the Star Trek universe, the half human, half thing?
No, not really.
They
No.
fly around a cube. They're pretty bad guys. They're a good villain. We are not talking that kind of Borg. Borg, in the modern hip youngster kiddo language, stands for Blackout Rage Gallon, and it is indeed all the rage. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go to Racket, and they've got an article on this. The recipe is simple to adapt. Take an empty plastic milk gallon container, okay? Fill it halfway with water, add a fifth of vodka, mix in some flavoring like Mio or the caffeinated kind, or electrolyte powder like a liquid one IV, liquid IV. tell you how out of it is. Liquid 1V, IV, okay. 1.5. The Borg's rise in popularity is tied to TikTok, where its hashtag Borg has matched over 295 million views. The drink gained enough notoriety to be featured in the New York Times article. Grape salad. Who doesn't love that? A significant number of alcohol intoxication cases have been attributed to Borg at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I'm presuming where it's called there, a wicked bog. It's something like that. Even if there are electrolytes and water in there, it doesn't negate the fact that there's a tremendous amount of alcohol, up to 16 drinks. Of course, once again, the name as advertised, Blackout Rage Gallon. Dr. Mike Sigliano tells Philadelphia's Fox 29 that one of the many recent moral health panics news stories Borg drinkers have inspired. Why have Borgs suddenly burst into the public consciousness? Well, maybe it might be Generation Z realizing what a crap world they're inheriting and trying to numb the pain of the reality of that they'll never be able to afford a house and likely will never be able to pay off their college in on their entire life. But hey, it could be just they want to have a drink. They basically, it's college students, concerned parents, childless 30-something alternative news editors. It's nice cell phone there, Racket. It is a revolution in binge drinking, a respite for beer pong or flip cup, soon to be banned scourge, akin to the original Four Loko. University of Minnesota journalism student, a 21-year-old, took on the hyper-local deep dive into Borg culture. Are you doing this in your hammock? Is that what it is? Are you doing this with your decorative scarf? Is that what's going on? I created my first Borg. This is first person from this 21-year-old journalist like me. Hey there, fellow kiddos. I created my first Borg using tap water, half a liter of vodka, and market pantry water flavoring. Yum. I was headed for a St. Patrick's Day party last month. That couldn't go wrong. So I chose the lemon lime variety in hopes of turning my Borg green. After emptying the entire thing into the gallon jug, my Borg had only turned less than attractive yellow. Close enough. It's St. Patrick's Day. You got to be careful, though. Don't let anyone else grab your Borg, especially if they're kind of doing a dance. All right, never mind. At the party, I descended a set of stairs, flirting aggressively with a fire code violation, entering a dingy Dinking basement. People instantly recognized what I had, a Borg with me. Bro, is that a Borg? Dude, it's just an empty milk jug. I mean, it's not like you just got, a Kate Spade purse. But I've got a lovely one. I mean, it is a nice purse. I will say that. What's its name? That's part of the culture. Borgs have names. All right. That's it's a thing. Barack Borgama. There are plenty of punny Borg names that are out there. As a matter of fact, the We Adulting site has 60 of them. Borg to be wild, Borg time rush, certified lover Borg. Who's a good Borg? Justin B. Borg. Borgasm, Borg meets world, Borgman Freeman, Curious Borg. Saturday are for the Borgs, our Borg savior. Soldier Borg, Borgen Wallen, Breaking Borg, Baden Borgie, Lightning McBorg, Leborg James. Okay. We are never getting Borg together. Captain Borgen, SpongeBorg SquarePants, from Borg to Morg, from Borg o'clock somewhere. Jason Borg, Borgina, the Borg who lived, the Borg or do not Borg. Borg around and find out. Ricky and Borgie, early Borg catches the worm. Joe Borgen. Wow. Wake up to a new Borgatti. Oh no, Step Borg, Dinkleborg, another Borg, Avengers Infinity Borg, Go Borgs, legally Borg, I think therefore I Borg, Breaking Borg, Borger Patrol, Borgs Are Us, Regina Borg, Pablo Escoborg, Heisenborg, Superborg 57, Plan Borg, Borgs to Men, Borgalicious, Hit Me Borgie one more time, Borg this way, a hot new Borg shell has entered the villa. I can't say that one. Borg straight. Let's have a Borgie. Count Borgula. Borg life. How to fake a Borgasm. In and out Borger. Let's exporg each other's bodies. Warg. And I like big Borgs. I cannot lie. You probably more than you wanted to know, isn't it? The Borg this one had didn't have a name, which is a major faux pas. You have to name your Borg. Borg names have to be catchy. This journalist used Mikhail Borgachev. Bravo. On the spot thinking there. That's coming up with it quick. Borges Yeltsin might have been a better one, though. Yeah, hindsight is 2020. My Borg has been christened, thus making me legitimate. Yeah, sure going to be legitimate. You're drinking a gallon of booze. I soon discovered that Mr. Borgachev wasn't the only Borg-like mix in the room. Another reveler, Haley, had also mixed a concoction. And a spirited discussion, we insisted, but hers was in a water bottle, not in a milk gallon jug. Henceforth, they determined that Borg must be in a gallon jug because nothing looks more attractive than that. The plastic gallon jug does make a Borg. Hallie concluded Borg also has to be Borgalicious, though my drink is close. As the night wore on, Borg and the mystery amount of vodka it still contained grew increasingly intimidating. So instead of allowing it to take the wheel, I gave up, leaving it behind the party while my friends, oh yeah, I'm sure that survived. One way or the other. Of course, it is a milk gallon jug with a yellowish fluid in it. It's one way or the other. It was destroyed fairly quickly. They went to search for pizza. The argument here is that especially if you put electrolytes and you put water in there, it kind of nullifies the amount of hangover you have the next day. But I would make an argument, if you're drinking that much freaking liquor, it ain't going to go well.
Yeah, I have not heard about this thing, but are you going to make your own Borg?
That's already done, my friend.
The Borggressive voice of Minnesota.
The Borggressive, that's it. The aggressive Borggressive. There you go. Mwah. Mwah.
We'll see you walking in with a
Borg
big jug.
McNeil. Just call it Borg McNeil. It's Borg McNeil. You're welcome, youth culture. I'm glad I could apply. Dude, don't drink a freaking gallon of booze. I get it. You're young. Me nowadays, I have coffee after 7 o'clock. I'm ruined for the night. Don't drink and drive. Be careful. And if you do have a catchy Borg name, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. It's the Borg McNeil Show. We'll take a break. Come on back. It's AM 950, the progressive voice, the Borggressive voice of Minnesota.
Seward Co-op is now offering convenient self-serve and prepackaged hot options and salad bars at both the Franklin and Friendship stores. Breakfast items available daily until 11 a.m. and brunch served all day every Sunday. Their weekly lunch and dinner menus highlight cuisines from around the world. They offer vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options daily. 95% of the ingredients used are organic from small-scale, local community food producers whenever possible. More at seward.coop.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. April is National Pet Month, and if you have furry, fluffy friends, you know they're not always careful about where they do their business. Plus, warmer weather is on the way, and that means they will be shedding that winter coat all over the carpets. But whether you're a pet owner or not, make sure to take advantage of Zero Res Showering April savings on you before the May flowers and the May Pet Fluff Showering on your carpets not far behind. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified from the Twin Cities #1 carpet cleaner starting at just $129, and take $75 off your air duct cleaning this month to take care of pet dander and last year's pollen and other irritants before this year's flowers bloom. That's 3 rooms of the best clean you can buy for $129 and $75 off your air duct cleaning. Call 952-ZERO-RES or book your appointment at ZeroResMinnesota.com today. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Hi, this is Frank Brown, owner of Minuteman Press Uptown, Minnesota's only minority-owned union printing company. And I have big news. We've moved. Our new building in North Minneapolis is much larger with state-of-the-art equipment. That means we can get your projects done faster. We're on Washington Avenue North off I-94 at the Dowling exit, which allows for quick pickup and drop-off with plenty of free parking. And yes, we still print everything. I moved to MP Uptown because as a Black business owner, I want to be in North Minneapolis and help provide jobs. At MP Uptown, we pay above living wages, hire people who have made mistakes in the past, and believe in social justice. We have over 175 Google reviews with a 5-star rating. Let us handle your next print project because when you support our business, you support the community. Call 612-870-0777 or visit mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com. We print everything.
Thanks to Ron with Borg on the 4th of July. Nicely done.
That's better than a lot on the list they had supplied.
Well, if you want to make something really uncool really fast, have a lot of older people chime in on it. This will take care of the Borg culture really fast.
You know, that's a great point. No need to make PSAs to run on radio and TV. Yeah, just have a
hey. I made some up with my vitamin drink. Look, I've got a Borg too. I call mine Ernest Borgnine. Just drive that cultural moment right off the cliff. By the way, if you are watching us, we have made the determination during the break that I should not be wearing a white shirt on this camera. No, that is one pasty white Matt McNeil. No, that actually is just the shirt. There is apparently, I can at least see the difference between my shirt and my skin, but not so much on the camera. Call me Edgar Winter, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. launches his unlikely bid for the Democratic presidential nomination Wednesday with the support of 14% of voters who backed President Biden in 2020, said an exclusive USA Today Suffolk University poll. They call it a surprising strength. I say 14% is the most you're going to get because you have more pictures with Mike Flynn, Roger Stone, and Steve Bannon than you do want to have if you have any chance of becoming the Democratic nominee.
I'm betting a lot of those are people like, I don't like Joe Biden. We'll just go with whoever else they name.
It's basically he's a famous political name, but is not known for most of his as a champion of debunked conspiracy theories blaming childhood vaccines for autism. Yeah, he's nutsoid, man. In the survey taken Saturday through, we used to have him on Ring of Fire, right? He used to be on Ring of Fire years ago in the station.
I think years ago, maybe.
Yeah, and just you could hear him the car going off the cliff at times. He just started becoming more and more convinced of, they got tracker chips, and stuff like this. And dude, it's just survey taken Saturday through Tuesday. Only 67% of Biden's 2020 supporters said they would support him for the Democratic nomination over his current challengers. 67%. Let me just explain something to you. He's going to that would be an ass kicking. He will win. As a matter of fact, he is a fairly safe bet. Trump is still I think in like the 45%. I think this whole story is just the tone of this story is definitely to try to say, well, we can't let the Democratic race get out of control. Now, the Democratic race is over. Joe Biden's going to win the nomination if he chooses to run again, which he still has, to my knowledge, has not. I mean, did I miss anything when I was on vacation? I don't think I did. He's running. He hasn't announced necessarily, made an official kickoff. But, it's, if he does run, he's going to win again. Schechter even said it. He said, he's the incumbent. You vote for the incumbent. And frankly, considering all the good things that he has done in his first 2 years, he deserves another term in office if he wants to. Now, granted, his age is a little bit of an issue. But, I mean, I look at him as he came out of Ireland, for goodness sakes. He looked like a rock star it's, beloved. So, Kennedy stands at 14%. Self-help author Marianne Williamson. Did you interview Marianne Williamson? Was that you that did that, or was that
I
Ian
did
back
not,
then?
but we did have her on. Yeah, early in that 2020 campaign.
Yeah, no. She's got 5%. They call her the quixotic candidate. I got a different word for her, but okay, fine. 13% were undecided. The poll is taken by landline to cell phone and cell phone of 600 Biden voters identified from national and state polls from 2020 to 2022 as a margin error of plus or minus 4 percentage points. So even say all the percentage points go Biden's favor, it's 71% for Biden. This is not in debate. And it would be one thing if, and I'm just mentioning a name of a younger person. I have no knowledge of anything. I don't know if he's trying to or what. But if Gavin Newsom or say Dean Phillips wanted to run, maybe that might change. That might change. I'm not saying it would be enough to knock off Biden, but it might change. We'd have to see. But I can tell you right now that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will not be the next president of the United States of America. And just he's Democrats who don't know anything about him will say, oh, a Kennedy. Oh, I didn't know there was still a Kennedy that's running. And then all of a sudden you see the photos of him with arms around Roger Stone, arms around, he's just, his desire for the conspiracy theory has driven him well off any kind of reasonable platform into the arms of people who are giddy, mind you, at the concept of having a Kennedy run that they can back with Michael Flynn money, Roger Stone money, Steve Bannon money, as they cackle about trying to create a wedge. And, it's, if I can, now this wasn't the same thing. I mean, what was it? Edward Kennedy back in 1980, I believe, ran against Carter. He said that he wanted people to have a choice. Carter once again ran. Carter was not exactly the most popular president, but he pretty much overwhelmingly won. He wanted to run again. That was his call. And so I think this, to a point, I almost wonder if this is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just trying to find some way to stay relevant in the modern news cycle. 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. We'll take a break. Come on back. Stein. Oh, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Fox News and what happened there. It is the Matt McNeil Show right here on AM 950.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. Our station is located on a marsh, and we do our best not to disturb that environment. So I was thrilled to discover Natural Lawn. Their safer products and soil tests ensure that your lawn will be healthy, lush, and green. I don't even have to worry about bringing my furry friend to the station, thanks to the great care from Natural Lawn. I highly recommend Natural Lawn to keep your lawn beautiful, healthy, without compromising safety and sustainability. More at naturalawn.com.
The St. Paul Art Collective is thrilled to announce the return of the St. Paul Art Crawl this spring. And new for 2023, the St. Paul Art Crawl will now span 4 weekends through May 7th. The St. Paul Art Crawl will feature different districts each weekend, so you will have more opportunities to see more artists and performances. The event will showcase the work of local artists from 10 distinct art districts in St. Paul. This year's crawl promises to be bigger and better than ever, with 26 different venues hosting hundreds of talented artists, live music, dance, and delicious local food. As the longest-running art crawl in the United States, the St. Paul Art Crawl is an iconic event for art lovers and collectors alike. You can explore the city's diverse neighborhoods and experience the unique creative visions of each artist. So wander the St. Paul Art Crawl and discover the wonder of it all. That's every weekend through May 7th. For more information about the Spring Art Crawl and how to donate, visit stpaulartcollective.org.
Hi, I'm Scott Shambot from Shambot Family Dentistry. We're the fear-free, shame-free dental office. We know dental anxiety and dental phobia are real. We'll take the time to get to know you and give you what you need to be comfortable at all times. We offer free nitrous oxide laughing gas and have high-tech options to help you feel calm and relaxed during your appointments. We'll help you get through every appointment in the most pain-free way possible. If you're having a dental emergency, we'll try and get you in the same day you call because we don't like to see anyone in pain. As my daughter Rachel says,
if you don't see my dad, please see another dentist. Take care of your teeth because they're the only ones you get.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. I've been going to Shambot Family Dentistry for years. They get me in last minute when I'm in pain and make regular checkups easy and comfortable.
Shambot Family Dentistry in Hopkins and St. Paul. Find them online at shamblotfamilydentistry.com or call 1-800-FIX-MY-TEETH.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for cloudy skies today with a high near 45. Tonight, rain with a low around 42. And Thursday, more rain with a high around 49. Spring has arrived and it's time to take a good look at your lawn. If there's bare spots or brown patches, Natural Lawn can help. For over 30 years, Natural Lawn has taken an environmentally friendly approach to lawn care to feed your soil without unnecessary chemicals. Beat the summer rush and visit naturallawn.com.
Jeff. Jeff. J-E-F-F, Jeff. J-E-F-F, Jeff. J-E-F-F, Jeff.
Jeff Stein's our national and presidential expert, noted author. You can find his books over at Next Chapter Books and TotallyIowa.com. The Iowa Business Report and the Iowa Politics Report come to us from KXEL, where Jeff Stein has decided to saunter on over from his busy speaking schedule, lecturing schedule across Iowa.
There's a paycheck involved, dude.
Oh, well, we're not going to argue with it. I mean, we asked the question, are you running for president? I mean, that's where the people usually go speak in Iowa.
No, I'm not actually going to any pizza ranches. That would tell you that I was running for president if I hadn't invented a pizza ranch. That's the
you were Kirk Cousins.
also very possible. You moved your camera.
Well, yeah, we actually have a camera that works now because the other one was glaucoma central. So it's basically one that's here that you can actually see me. Plus the fact that the original camera was put in possibly the worst position in the studio. So now I can look straight into your eyes, Jeff Stein.
Yeah. And you see, that's why I don't think that was the worst position, because before I'd log into this stream and I'd see a grumpy man hunched over his phone at a counter, but there was some distance and it wasn't so frightening. And I log in today and it's like, boom, full screen McNeil.
Oh, well, it is full screen McNeil, which of course, once again, if I can promote my OnlyFans page, it's all sorts of a full screen McNeil. Just enjoy yourself. You can find the OnlyFans page. It's out there. If you can find it, good luck. No,
but you have a link. What do you mean? If you find it, good luck. This is bad marketing on your part.
Well, no, it's not bad marketing because it's a little game I've got. I've set it up. Okay. It's out there. If you can find it, bon voyage.
All right. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to necessarily say I'll be searching OnlyFans extensively tonight, but okay, Jeff, if that's the way you're going.
It says the connection failed. So obviously that's the scam right there.
I don't blame you. Distance is a good thing. I got into radio because no one saw me. Now all of a sudden everyth's changed. Okay. So yes. I want to really quick here. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to run as the Democratic nominee. He's got 14% in the poll. That's as much as he's going to get. I mean, he's got too many Roger Stone and Michael Flynn pictures. There's just no way on the planet he's going to get anywhere close. I understand Kennedy, they fall in love with the idea of it, but the right does, so that there's conflict within the Democratic primary. But the reality is Yeah, I think that he's already at his maximum extension, because the minute people start seeing, oh, he's hanging around Steve Bannon, well, that's the end of that.
Well, and even before that, if you just take the COVID out of it,
Yes.
he already had some, shall we say, issues with regard to vaccinations.
Yes.
And members of the family distanced themselves from him dating back prior to the last 5 years. I think it was CNN.com that had a very nice extensive piece talking with all manner of Kennedys about how, and the tone was like this, Matt. It was, we love Bobby, but we're going to support Biden.
Yeah.
And so truly, what they are afraid of is that there's going to be some event in Massachusetts with Joe Biden on the stage and 10 different members of the Kennedy family all saying, we love our brother / uncle / cousin / whatever, but we're going to stay with the incumbent. And it's actually pretty well true. So many people, when they enter the race, that's as good as it's going to get. I mean, remember the Colin Powell phenomenon. Everyone said, oh, if he just would run for president, and then he announced, and that was the height of his support.
Yeah, and exactly. And I think, especially when you realize that, I mean, and the Kennedy name, it doesn't have as much weight to it as it used to do, and not anymore. And I think that, the John F. Kennedy Jr., when he was around, maybe might be able to reignite that family flame, but I just don't think that it's not, especially with him, it's clearly not going to be there.
Well, and the other thing that the CNN piece that I read had it was an interesting take, where this current generation, not even Bobby Sr.'s generation, the younger generation, they're saying it's been so removed from President Kennedy, from Senator Robert Kennedy. The world is so removed from that. Everyone's impression of the Kennedys is this guy and his stance on vaccinations. And they don't want that to be the legacy. Because if you think of how long has Teddy Kennedy been gone, sadly. I mean, you start adding this up, and pretty soon it's a what have you done for me lately field. Politics always has been. But this is what a number of the younger members of the family are concerned about, is that the higher profile he gets, that's what they think the whole family will be seen as being behind him.
Well, is there one Kennedy who's like, a House rep in Rhode Island or something like that?
Oh gosh,
I know there's the Republican Kennedy out of Louisiana, the senator, but
yeah,
is there
no relation?
Yeah, no,
it's clearly no relation. But I'm not even sure that they're one of Teddy's sons was a rep from Rhode Island, but I'm not even sure who holds elective office anymore. Certainly nobody in the U.S. Congress, and again, that's the first time in 50 years when Joe the Third retired.
The Fox News, the begging. I mean, let's face it. They delay the trial on Monday because Fox is desperate to get this thing off. Fox wanted two things. One, they did not want to have their hosts on every other network testifying that, that basically we knew it was a lie and we were lying to our own viewers. That would have been it would have destroyed the network. Especially to have Tucker Carlson, their most beloved, the Hannitys and the Carlsons out there basically saying, yep, we knowingly lied to the American people. But at the same time, they were able to, avoid from having to admit guilt, which I think was a little bit of a generosity from Dominion. But when they're throwing $787 million out there, it truly was a big bite out of Fox News in regards to the size of the check.
Well, and in fact, I think I did see something where they had to say statements were made that were wrong. I mean, that's as good as you're going to get, but that clearly is an admission. If you wanted to settle it, Matt, as a nuisance case, that's a term of art in the law. In other words, it's not with any merit, but we'll throw some money at the other side because we're going to have to spend money defending ourselves and time, etc. If it were a nuisance settlement, you'd have made it a year ago. You wouldn't make it as the jury is being seated. This is clearly everybody hedging their bets. And this is the thing from the Dominion standpoint, frankly. You get $750 million. Now, that's half of what you were asking, but hello, you were asking for a lot. And this could have, in one respect, gone either way. You could have gotten a jury that said, all right, it's the whole $1.5 billion. or they might have said nothing. And so from this standpoint, Fox is able to get out cheap. Dominion has something certain, and that's what they wanted was cash. What I find fascinating is the damage is already done because of the release of the depositions. Now, yes, would it have been showy for Tucker Carlson to get up there and say under oath what he had said in a deposition, which was, yeah, I know we're blowing smoke. The thing that I find fascinating, though, is who just got a sit down with Donald Trump? Tucker Carlson, the same guy whose texts were released as saying that he hates Trump, he thinks Trump is a charlatan, et cetera, et cetera. Is the whole thing nothing more than pro wrestling?
Well, but Trump needs, he has to beat down DeSantis now, and he's doing it. He's doing it very effectively. DeSantis is not helping his cause.
No.
And he knows that Tucker still has a lot. I mean, how many times have I seen Jordan Klepper from The Daily Show go talk to these guys out of these Trump rallies, and they'll say, I don't watch Fox News outside of Tucker. I mean, Tucker still has a lot of pull within the right-wing community. And so I think that Trump, whereas I guarantee you behind closed doors is probably very angry at Tucker Carlson. He's willing to put on because he needs Tucker Carlson to make sure DeSantis never gets any traction.
I'm not going to argue that point too strongly, but he was on 2 nights with Hannity. He was on with Mark Levin on the weekend. Then all of a sudden now it's 2 nights with Tucker. It's almost like Tucker needed it to retain the base with his audience, that the grand man Trump would allow him to come in and do an interview, because I mean it's the Trump network otherwise. Whereas for a very long time you couldn't find Trump anywhere on the network. He was on Real America's Voice. He was on Newsmax, but not so much on Fox. Now the lawsuit's is done. It's just a very interesting thing that I'm trying to figure out whether Carlson needed Trump more than Trump needed Carlson. Because again, to your point about the base, it's saturation, it's overkill. But to your point about DeSantis, if you're trying to show strength out of the box, this is the worst script. I mean, here's how bad the week went for DeSantis. He wanted to go to Washington to meet with members of Congress. Former congressman himself wanted to meet with members of Congress, do a little arm twisting, and get some endorsements. And while there in the shadow of the Capitol, he can talk about the radical Biden administration. That was the phrase he used. So what does Trump do from afar? He gets not 1, not 2, but 3 members of the Florida congressional delegation to declare their support for him, Trump, as DeSantis comes to Washington. Trump got more endorsements from the Florida delegation from 1,000 miles away than DeSantis did on Capitol Hill. That really, I mean, Politico has a great tale that they've told about this, where it's an example of how DeSantis has no connection with people.
Well, well, I'll just look at this whole thing of, I'll put a prison next to Disney World. Even your own party is like, okay, enough with this. Yes. He bought his own. You said this. How many times have you said this about a candidate over the many years you and I have talked? He's buying his own damn press. And if he can't realize what he's making up versus what's reality, then he is screwed. And really right now, DeSantis, I mean, this whole thing of extending the don't say gay now to 12th graders and stuff, he's just frantically flailing, trying to get back that mojo he had earlier. But the reality is he basically was already convinced he was beating Trump, and here comes Trump to basically say you're not even close.
And it's because again he's making these unforced errors. One of the congressmen from Florida who announced that he would support Trump is a fellow by the name of Greg Steube, and Steube said that DeSantis has been governor for 5 years, roughly. Not once has anyone from the governor's office, the political side, reached out to the congressman at all. 0. Until they wanted an endorsement and they got a phone call. Steube then points out he was the one who was on a ladder trimming trees and fell and had to go to the ICU. I mean, this happened over the Christmas holiday. He was at home doing work in the yard and fell off the ladder and about killed himself. Well, in any case, Steube tells the story that the first person who called him in ICU was Trump.
Mm.
It's now April and he's waiting for DeSantis's call. So when you have no rapport with these people, which is apparently the case, the Texas congressman, I can't remember his name right off the bat, Lance something, Giddens maybe. He walks out of the meeting with DeSantis, and the press is assembled, and he says, I'm here to declare my support for Donald Trump. I mean, does it get a lot worse? So now, if that were the case, Matt, you're an experienced political hand, wouldn't you say, okay, let's just focus on the Florida legislature. Let's just focus on getting things together here at home. Enough of the trips to Ohio to go to the Florida First Lady School. We're just going to kind of regroup. No, their reaction to how this is going in the ditch is to say, you know what, instead of announcing our candidacy in June, we're going to do it a month earlier in May. Why? So you can be done by Independence Day? Okay, fine.
Well, and can I point out something? There is a method to the madness of all this stuff, of how you run for office. You and I have talked, can a guy from Florida win? If you think you are in Florida, and clearly people in Florida think Florida is the only state that matters. And that is the truth. They love their Florida and they're there.
Yep.
Why are you not more in Iowa? You should be in Nevada. You should be in New Hampshire. And I get it. You're still trying to run a state, but every free moment you have, you should be in these first few states. I mean, South Carolina is just up the road. It's 2 hours from Jacksonville to get to South Carolina, yet you're not doing that. You're just basically, patting yourself around on the back as you run around Florida for the most part, saying, isn't Florida great? You're not resonating. And considering how really within the Republican corner, Trump is loved in those early battleground states, maybe not Nevada as much, but in Republicans in New Hampshire, Republicans in Iowa, Republicans in South Carolina, you need to start getting into those states. And he says, Florida's here. We're going to solve it all. And it is, that is a message that is falling really, really flat.
Well, and to that point, campaign trip, quote, book tour, campaign trip to Ohio.
Yes.
Ohio. Yes, you need it in November of next year.
Yeah.
While you're there, let's just go alphabetically. Well, and again, he's doing the book tour. Did he come to make 2 stops in Iowa? Yes. Big deal. Is he coming back to Iowa? Sure. But again, what was happening in Florida last week? Flooding. Major, major flooding. And what is he doing? Scampering up to D.C.
Yeah.
So he's not even going around Florida sufficiently to take care of things there. It's to your point, and this is why you and I've talked about that. This won't sell certainly not in Iowa. He stands there and says, I'm the governor of Florida, and look what a great job we've done in Florida. And he'll tick off various things. All right. So you've got people in Iowa going, yeah, we did that. We did that. We did that. Okay. What's so good about you? We've got that. You go to some of these other states, same thing. He is a Republican governor. There are a lot of Republican governors doing the same thing, but again, he's bought his own press that it's Florida and therefore it's better than anybody else. And that's going to fall flat.
Oh, it is. And it is just the idea that, and by the way, that flooding stuff, the fact that was at Fort Lauderdale, the authorities down there, it was 4.
All right. Now, Matt is buffering. And I now just see myself. So that's telling me, I don't know. Am I carrying the show? Has the Ron DeSantis for President group gotten McNeil out of the picture altogether? This is fascinating stuff, to say the least. McNeil's picture just started spinning, unless he was turning in his chair quickly. I don't know. Now he's no longer in the stream. So I have no idea if the stream apparently is live. I have no idea about the radio show. I assume he'll come back shortly, or maybe there'll be a musical interlude. That's often done in radio. I just have to assume that it's only the stream that just failed. And so until I see a text or something that tells me, I'll just kind of go along here for a moment. This is the beautiful thing about technology. If it ever truly worked right, you could have something. I suppose this could be TikTok and it would be even worse. I would not have much to do with TikTok if that were the case. Well, it sounds like this stream may have just, I don't know if everything has gone away. Obviously, the radio show must be continuing, but I can't hear it. So maybe I have to get out of it in order to come back. I guess we'll find out.